Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Faria, and today I wanted to make this video about the MCAT, everything that I did for the MCAT. And so the MCAT was actually one of the hardest exams I have ever taken, and to finally be done with it means the world to me, knowing that I never have to take it again. I understand that I'm gonna have to take other board exams, other multiple exams, but as long as it's not the MCAT, I'm okay. And so today I just wanted to speak a bit more about the MCAT, and I wanted to talk about, I wrote everything down on my little note sheet. So first I want to talk about how long it took me to study, and then which resources I used, and then how exactly did I study, and then the last one is tips and tricks that I wanted to share with all of you. And so starting off, how long did it take me to study? For me personally, because I have taken the MCAT multiple times, to be very exact, 3 times. I took it 3 times and it was very intense. And for me, I just wanted to get a better score, and the first time I took the exam, I miserably failed. I felt I got lower than what I was getting on the practice exam, so I had to retake that. I did better on the second one, but still, like, that score was not gonna take me anywhere, so I had to retake it. Because of that, I had to study and find different ways to study. So how long did it take me? It took me a whole year. I started to study for that exam, I think, June 2022, and I think I finished in June 2023, and then took my 3rd MCAT on July 4th, which is a weird time to take because by that time, I think I had to already submit all of my medical school applications, so I had to submit my application first without knowing what my score was going to be. And when I actually found out after applying and I saw my score, I was just so happy. I was at work, and I was in the library at work during my lunchtime checking, and so I was just crying. I was just so happy I never have to do this again. So yeah, it will do that to you. The MCAT is extremely difficult, and it is time consuming. It is a challenge, and it is a marathon, and once you're done, you'll feel like you achieved the entire world. So that's that. But yes, so it took me a whole year just to study, and it really depends on your own way of studying, what works for you, to figure out the best methods. For me, the first time I tried, it was more of like a 2-month program that I was in, and because of that, and I started a new job. I just graduated, so I don't think I had enough time to dedicate to studying, which I felt like reflected on the exam. But I also am a type of person that requires more studying to do well, so I don't think 2 months was enough for me. And so I had to figure out another way of studying. And which brings me to what resources that I use. So the first time I studied with a third party, which is Blueprint, and we had a summer course, which is, I think, maybe about 2 months. And for that, I took it, and within that 2-month course, they have everything on an online system, so you can do online flashcards, online practice exams, and they have live sessions where you can ask questions if you are stuck and interact with the tutors that they have, which I found was very helpful because they would give you a lot of like mnemonics for you to remember during the test. That was very interesting, and they have a lot of resources because you are paying for it, which was helpful. But I felt like if I had more time to do those exams and those practice and just understand and review them, I would have been, I think, better off. With the online course, they actually do give you a physical book. So this is the chemistry one, and they're all from Blueprint, and I think they give you 4, so chemistry, biology, the psychology, and then cars. I don't really remember. I have them all here, but it's just I didn't bring it out, so. But this is what it looks like. I paid for all of this, so. For me, I do not write on books because I do not want to dirty it up. These are very important books, and it can be used for anybody else or me later on, so I just never write on them. I do have stickies to help me know which chapter I'm in and which ones I need to go over. But I'll give you a short review of the books. I felt like the books are an exact copy of everything you learn online. They also have videos, so if that's something that helps you, then this probably would be perfect for you. But this is a copy of like the notes they give you, so there's no actual necessity of needing the book. You don't really need to read it or anything. Everything is already online, but if you do want to, it is here. I felt like the books kind of worked as more of a review sheet than a book for actual content. What do I mean by that? I feel like it gives you a little notes of like, okay, remember this, and remember that. This is not this, don't think like this, but they're not giving you like very in-depth information about what the process is. Like glycolysis, they'll tell you like, okay, don't forget this part, don't forget that part, but they don't like take the time to help you understand the entire process. So that's my review of Blueprint. And then I think the second and third time I got the Kaplan self-study MCAT toolkit, which is the 2022 to 2023 version. That comes with 6 practice exams and I think other online resources. So for that, I studied all on my own the second time. And like I said before, I didn't do too hot on it. But the last time I took everything to heart and I made sure that this time I'm gonna do well, this time I'm gonna stick to it, and that time I used the Kaplan books as much as I wanted to and organized how I'm going to do it. So the Kaplan books, there's actually a bunch of them, and I went through each of the books and read through it all, took notes and so many things. Like I have these little notes with everything I do, and I do a lot of practice exams, so that's why you're gonna see me with so many like little notes. I have like 5 of these just in like every other place. Rogers theory, I forgot everything about this, but it's all here. I do a lot of writing just in case, so everything is here. But back to Kaplan, they have multiple different books and they're very thorough, which I really like. I was able to go through each of the chapters and take notes on what I need to learn, what I don't understand, and come back. So I was really able to go through the process and learn what happens in each step, which I really enjoyed because I'm more of a detail-oriented person. I need to know what's happening on a very small level to fully understand everything that's going on. And I think the Kaplan books do that. And on top of that, you have those practice exams, which should be taken seriously, and you need to take the exams in the same testing conditions as the actual MCAT. For me, when I took the first MCAT, I was so scared. I never knew that they kind of frisk you every time you go in and out, and I felt so anxious, but because I've already taken it after that, it was okay. Those are the 2 resources that I used, which is the Blueprint as well as the Kaplan books, the sources. And now I want to talk to you about how I studied. The type of studying that worked for me is to make sure that I am able to create an Excel sheet encompassing every single thing that I need to study. Because this time I used the Kaplan books, I was able to write down a 4-month study plan of on this day what book I'm going over, what chapter I'm going over, how many practice questions am I going to do, am I going to review this, which ones, and how will I prove, like, am I reviewing it, what I'm getting wrong, or how, just like exactly what I'm going to be doing for the entire 4 months, written down on an Excel as a calendar, just so I know what I'm working on every single day. I was working full time also, so I really had to time myself and make sure that I'm able to do 5 to 6 hours every single day. So I made that Excel sheet, and then I tracked how many hours I studied. So I would at work I would take an hour lunch, so I would clock in for lunch, study, go over the questions, review the questions, and then clock out and go back to work. But on a more in-depth, I would wake up, go to work. I had work at 9, around 1 p.m. I would go to the library, clock out, do practice exams and questions from Jack Weston. That's another resource if you want to use, it's free. And then 2 p.m. I would be finished with the practice questions, and then go back to work. At 5 I finish, so at like 5:10 I would finish my work and run to the library, clock in, and then start doing all of the practice questions that I have left, reviewing them, why did I get it wrong, what can I do better, and just going over as many practice questions as possible, and then finish around like 8 or 9 p.m. and then go home, have dinner or anything, and then study a bit more, and then do it again. On Saturday and Sunday I would do practice exams closer to the date of my exam. So that's how I studied, and I actually do want to show you the schedule that I created for myself, and I'll insert it here. The Excel, I think, worked really well because it allows you to visualize everything that you have done. I think the Excel idea would also work well if you were to try it. The last part of this is that tips and tricks and what worked for me and what can help you. So for me, I believe that if you are able to dedicate certain time and maintain that time to study every single day, that will wildly help you out, because this is a marathon and this is something you have to do constantly to do well on, right? And I was able to improve my score, alhamdulillah I was, because it means so much, but I was only able to improve as much as I did because I was able to dedicate the same amount of time and discipline myself to study, and which is something that you can do. Make sure that you have a place where you can study and you're not bothered and you can only focus on what needs to be done. Another thing is that when you're mimicking testing, just make sure that you give yourself the same amount of time and make your lunches, because that's what you're gonna have to do during the test. When you're taking the MCAT, they give you, you know how you have like the different sections, you have a break in between, and make sure that you try to eat something and give yourself some energy, because if you don't, you're not gonna be able to push through the other sections. So make sure to eat, make your little lunches, have people that motivate you in your life, and let them know that you're taking the MCAT, and so that they are able to support you and push you through as much as you need. For me, the most important person that helped me out was my mom. The first time I did bad, and then the second time I did bad, I was heartbroken. I was completely rethinking my future. Oh no, what am I going to do now? I did not get the score that I needed to apply. How can I do this? They're not going to accept me. But it was my mom who said, well, you're going to try again, and if you fail, you're going to try again. You're going to try again, and then again, and again. And what she said meant the entire world to me, because it means, yeah, I didn't do that well, but I still have another chance. And if I continue to do well, one day I will do better on that exam than I did previously. So just a matter of going forth, doing it again. And I did. Her words are true. I did better. And now I have been accepted to medical school. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you too. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, do let me know. Applying to medical school, getting the exams, getting the scores, doing all of this has been a journey of a lifetime. And I can't wait to start the next journey as a medical student. So thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye.